World Bank estimates that approximately 1/3 of the world's population, over 2 billion people, live in poor rural conditions without access to modern energy services. In sub-Saharan Africa, more than 500 million people rely on fuel wood for energy, many of whom are exposed to the daily inhalation of carbon monoxide from indoor biomass pollution. It is estimated that this results in 1.8 million respiratory-related deaths every year in the developing world. Today in Africa, the lack of clean and sustainable energy is as deadly a killer as unclean drinking water and malaria. The University of Strathclyde's Electronic and Electrical Engineering Department established the Gambia Solar Project in 2006 after an approach from local children from Fintry Primary School. They wanted help to install solar power at their twin school in Sambal-Kunda in rural Gambia. A team of academics, researchers and students raised funds, sourced equipment and designed solar power systems and visited the Gambia to install power at the local school and health clinic in Sambal-Kunda. These initial installations were so successful that the department was approached directly by neighbouring communities asking for help. The Gambia is one of the most westerly countries in Africa. It is also the smallest, surrounded entirely by Senegal except for a small coastline. The country is situated around the River Gambia, which flows through the centre into the Atlantic Ocean. The solar installations have all taken place in the Central River region. As of 2012, the completed projects are Sambal-Kunda School and Health Clinic in 2006, Sambal-Kunda Animal Blood Screening Lab and Kudang and Sijukundu Schools in 2008, Sotokoi and Nichikunda Schools in 2009, Mahmud Fana and Bantanto Schools in 2010. In 2011, the team returned to Kudang to extend the previous installation, and in 2012 completed an installation at Kermalama. Gambia suffers from widespread poverty. 60% of its rural population live below the breadline. Of Gambia's 1.7 million people, only 400,000 have access to grid-connected electricity. This leaves over 1 million people in rural Gambia with little or no prospect of access to a clean and reliable supply of electricity. The average Gambian household income is estimated to be $1 a day, with 2/3 of the annual household salary spent on food. The average life expectancy in the Gambia is 53 years, where 30% of Gambians will die before they reach 40. While state-subsidised primary education has recently been made compulsory for children below 8 years of age, this has failed to benefit the 63% of Gambia's adult population who remain illiterate, and many of its children, particularly females, where household duties take priority over education. The inability of rural consumers to pay for energy services offers little incentive to energy suppliers to invest in the upkeep and expansion of their energy infrastructures. However, there is an alternative means of rural electrification, utilising the one natural resource that the Gambia has in abundance, but which as yet remains largely untapped: sunshine. To speak to me. At sunrise, the students arrive at Jamajan Lower Basic School ready to begin the installation. They get to work unloading the equipment ready to get started. Some students start by wiring up the light fittings. The school will be equipped with lighting and power in 2 classrooms and in the headmaster's office. The rest of the students begin to lay the cables, attaching them to high metal beams inside the classroom. Once the cables are in place, work begins on attaching the newly wired light fittings. Next is all hands on deck to lift the solar panels onto the roof and attach them. The switches are wired up and attached to the walls whilst the board is being connected up. And all that remains is to test the system. Another successful solar installation is completed. The students hand over the system to the school and will return on a yearly basis to carry out any required maintenance.